Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you watched last week's video or any other video I've uploaded for that matter, you'll know that I talk a lot about core values. Like I probably 98% mention core values in every single one of my frameworks that I go through. They are what drive you, your motivators, your non-negotiables, the things that you stand for above all else. Basically, your soul principles. I came up with that term myself because I found it sounded a little bit sexier than core values. But when you are clear on what your core values are, you can build a more fulfilling career and life because you know what truly matters to you deep down inside. You can stop saying yes to things that drain your energy because you think you should do them and instead put your time and energy to where it actually belongs. Finding out what your core values are is a bit of a process, so I don't usually dive into it in other videos because it is usually one part of a bigger framework. So I thought that today I would dedicate an entire video to this process. So the next time I tell you to go and map out your core values, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So yes, today I'm going to take you through my 5-part framework to figuring out your values. This is the exact same framework I take my clients through. So I suggest you go and grab a pen and a notebook because you will want to take notes. Let's dive in. If you're new here, hi, I'm Thalia. I'm a certified health coach and the creator of Notes by Thalia, a self-development hub for 9-to-5 girlies ready to bounce back from burnout and transform their draining job into a career they love. Every week-ish, I share content on burnout recovery, slow living, finding joy, and career growth. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more. So this is my famous core values framework. It is split up into 5 sections to help you navigate this process a little easier, but I will take you through it step by step so that by the end of this video, you'll either know exactly how to figure out your core values or have an idea of what they are. So the first step is to really take a step back and reflect on previous moments in your life where you felt the most fulfilled, energized, rewarded, basically alive. What are those moments that you look back on and you think, damn, that was so awesome? Those moments that really have that emotional pull on you. What I find the most with corporate women between 27 and 30 is that they've lost who they are as a person. They've forgotten what they stand for, the things that they used to enjoy. And this usually comes down to years and years of people pleasing, from doing what others expect from us, and the constant pressure to hit the right milestones at the right time. And this really impacts the way we view ourselves, the way we live, because we're not creating the lives that we want. We're creating the one that we think we should want. So it's really important that you go through these journal prompts because they will help you really dig deep into those moments and figure out what it was that was so special. I did this exercise originally after my 30th birthday, and I realized that the most fulfilling moments I'd had in my life were those that I spent traveling for 1.5 years. So those experiences really laid the groundwork for me, hence why I am now a digital nomad and I work and travel. So don't worry if you can't pinpoint anything right now. You can always come back to this exercise whenever you need to. I will drop the link for this document in the description below, so you can always refer back to it. There are no limits to this initial first step, so just go wild. Brain dump absolutely everything. It doesn't need to be neat. You can just scroll all over your piece of paper. But what I do want you to do during this exercise is start to identify the values that were present during these moments. Just circle them. So for example, one of my most rewarding and satisfying moments was when I climbed to Everest Base Camp. It was a while ago now, but I still remember that moment so clearly, like it was yesterday. And the values that were present for me were what? So adventure, accomplishment, determination, courage, even joy and gratitude. Gratitude for really being there. Some of these values do still resonate with me now, but I would say maybe the majority don't. If you do find that one of the words that you're circling is giving you an emotional pull and does still resonate with you now, then write it down on a separate piece of paper so you can start keeping track of the values you want to work with during the rest of this framework. Another question I want you to answer is, what other values align with the life that I want to create or with the person I want to be? Values, they guide our behaviors, our decisions, and our goals. They don't necessarily need need to be what you do now. They can be something that you strive for. So confidence is one of my values. I wouldn't say that I am the most confident person right now, but it is something that I'm working on. But because confidence is a big priority for me, I can make sure that I set goals that support it. So how can I become more of a confident person? How can I feel more confident to share my truth? These are the questions that I want to ask myself as I'm setting goals for the year. So I hope you can see from this example how your values can start to guide your choices and your behaviors and your goals, your decisions, basically your whole entire life. The next step is to make a list of other common values that resonate with you now. Continue this exercise until you have at least 10 or 15. I wouldn't write down more than 20 because that would make this next step a lot more challenging, because when you have your list of values, you're going to have to narrow them down to just 5. James Clear says it best, but if you have more than 5 core values, then nothing is really a priority. You will continue to say yes to things that drain you because of guilt and hit burnout because of it. So to narrow down your list, you need to compare each of your values and basically ask yourself, which value is more important to me right now? So I would say that adventure is more important to me than community. So I would give it 1 tally mark so I can visually keep track of which values are more important. But actually then I would say that family was more important to me right now. I'm in my mid-30s. I've done the whole adventure thing. I want to spend quality time with my parents. They're getting older and I've just recently got married. So I want to be able to grow with my husband as a married couple. So I would add a tally mark next to family. Again, friendships is more important to me than adventure. Then even going back to adventure and community, maybe community is actually more important to me now. So feel free to obviously keep going back through your list and be like, well, actually, no, maybe that value isn't important to me right now. Maybe it is these other ones. Go through each value one after the other. Just keep comparing them until you've gone through your whole list. You are really looking for that emotional connection here when you say the word out loud, like a little pull on your heartstrings. So when I say the word truth, I'm like, oh my God, yes, I love that word. This is me. This is definitely one of my values, to be living in my truth and to be surrounded by people who are authentic and who are also speaking their truth. You might find halfway through doing this exercise that 1 or 2 values stand out the most. So they might be an instant yes, those are my values. Otherwise, it is the values with the most amount of tally marks next to them that are your top 5 core values. Once you do have those locked in, I want you to write them down and keep them somewhere visible. I have mine on my Notion board. They're also up here, but you can turn them into something creative, something visual, like a little graphic that you keep on your phone or like a post-it note that you have on your laptop, so you can always keep referring back to them every single day and just asking, hold on a minute, am I building a life true to these? Which one am I neglecting right now? A quick side note here, your core values might change over time, especially if you are doing this work in your late 20s. So maybe you're 27, 28, and then once you enter your 30s, some core values might shift. They might change as you grow as a person. Yes, you might have 1 or 2 that are always going to be there. They're rooted in you, and that's perfectly normal. So I 10 out of 10 recommend that you bookmark this video, and whenever you're feeling a little bit of conflict, allow yourself to keep going through this framework until you find a set of 5 core values that just fill you with so much peace that every time you look at those words, you're like, yes, this is me. That is the type of life that I want to build. And then we're going to move into part 4, which is the fun part. I mean, this whole entire exercise is fun, but this is where things start coming together and start to make a lot more sense, because core values mean something different to all of us. For example, freedom to me looks like living completely off grid. Like, that is my ultimate dream. But for you, it might look like having more free time away from work, spending more time by yourself. So you really want to break down each core value into 5 to 8 specific areas. So if you value health, get clear on what this means for you. Is it uninterrupted sleep, eating a healthy diet and exercise? Or is it taking better care of your well-being at work, having a proper lunch break away from your desk? Knowing what is important to you about each value makes it so much easier for you to set value-driven goals, because you know exactly exactly what to prioritize and where to put your time and energy. If you are going through this by yourself, you've got all of the cues and pointers there for you, so hopefully you don't get stuck. But if you do need any help at any time, feel free to drop a comment below or find me on Instagram and slide into my DMs. If you stumbled across my channel because you hate your job or you're burnt out, then this next part is for you. Because we're not just mapping out your values, closing your notebook and saying goodbye. I really want you to take action on this. And to do this, you really need to bridge the gap between where you are right now and where you want to be. Maybe you value leadership, but right now in your job, you're hiding in meetings and not putting yourself forward for projects. What small changes can you make to really bring you closer to that value? Maybe you value creativity, but you go to work, come home, eat, sleep, and repeat. Kind of mundane. So you want to start looking for ways where you can invite more creativity into your downtime, either through hobbies or creative side projects. Awesome. There we are. That was the process to finding out your core values. So hopefully you have 5 now that you can take with you everywhere, all over the world. I'll drop the link to this framework in the description below so you can refer back to it whenever you need to. With this framework, there is really no excuse for you not to be building a life that feels good. I'm not telling you to book a one-way flight to Bali because that's the only way you're going to find happiness. That is utter BS. I am asking you to find the smallest thing you can do right now to support your values so you can feel more aligned, more grounded, more fulfilled, more at peace with yourself. So use your 5 core values as the foundation for your vision board and your goals for next year. Because trust me, things will make so much more sense for you if you do. I'll be back next week and I hope to see you there. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more.